tell you that you're not going to need your Bibles for this lesson.
Oh.
However, the principle is going to come from the Word of God. Can we get those guys in? Can they come in? There's a row of chairs right down through here, guys. Come on in and have a seat. Because I just want to kind of have a chat with the men folk here today. I want to talk to you about what the Bible calls, or what I'm going to call, the measure of a man. It comes from a simple statement in the book of the Revelation. I don't want you to turn to it, and I know that sounds strange, but just stay with me. In a description about heaven, he says he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man. That is in the angel. Now look at it now and lay the groundwork. We'll get right to it. A cubit in the Bible is about 18 inches. In the old days, biblical days, they measured what a cubit was by length, by the measurement from the tip of the longest finger in the king's hand to his elbow. In fact, to this day, that's still for the average person, unless you're a knuckle dragger, is going to be 18 to 19 inches. Now, I was reading that one day, and I was coming across the statement, and I saw that, the measure of a man. Now, I would assume today, young men, I would assume today your desire is to become a man someday.
Amen. Good.
But then the question is, what is the measure of a man? What makes a man a man? Age? You turn 18, you go to the military. 21, you're stupid, you can go in the liquor store and buy booze. Is that a man? Are you a man because you reach a certain age? Well, I mean, I'm 30 years old, I'm a man. I know 50-year-old men who are still going through the terrible twos.
Yeah.
They're children, immature. Now look here, listen to me. And I guarantee you in this room this is true. I know 14-year-olds who are men.
Yeah.
It is not your age. It's not the size of the muscles that you have, which for some of you, better thank God. But the truth of the matter is, it's not, look at me, it's not whether you can beat on your chest like King Kong and throw your weight around and boss a bunch of girls around, or your mother. So what is the measure of a man? Apostle Paul said, when I became a man, I put away childish things. I believe there's certain things in a person's life, a young man's life, that helps him to become a man. More importantly, will measure whether or not he is a man at all. Father, help us this morning now to be clear about some simple thoughts and help these young men to become men. I ask it in Christ's name, amen. You know, young fellas, so much of what we are as men to become a man is going to come from our examples. Who we draw our examples from. Now, if you're like me, you didn't grow up with a lot of men in your life that were good examples. My dad's a Baptist preacher, ran off with one of the women in the church when I was about a year old. My mother turned to drink and became a drunkard. She remarried a man that was a drunk and a bartender. And he was one of those big he-men that beat on women and children. And I lived in the town where I now pastor as a child, living most of my childhood under my bed instead of on it. Because he would come home drunk at night, fight with my mother. And my mom's a little 2x4 squirt Texan. She'd knuckle up with this dude and they'd hook it right in the front room. We didn't have a piece of furniture that wasn't busted. He'd knock my mom's teeth out. I'd step on them on the floor going into the kitchen in the morning. There'd be some of her teeth laying there in the floor. And she'd have her glasses cocked like this when she'd get up in the morning to come into the kitchen with a big black eye from this he-man guy that beat on her. I didn't have a lot of good examples of what a man was growing up. So I went to live with my grandparents, godly people. My grandfather's a construction worker. Always remember, gentlemen, Jesus was raised in a carpenter's home. Right. I never known many queers with pink hammers. Right. My grandfather was a very good man. And I began to get some examples of what a real man was from him. I don't care what your examples are or are not. You and I are supposed to get our idea of what God made us to be from Him and His Word. There is no excuse for a young man growing up and following the bad example that he saw. Okay. I did not like what I saw when I saw him beat my mother. 8-year-old boy, I'd stand on a chair in the hallway with a baseball bat unscrewing the hallway bulb in the hallway and wait around the corner for him to come around there so I could lay him out so I could get the first lick in before he got me. That's not how 8-year-old boys are supposed to think. So I grew up in a home where there's abuse and people beating on folks and drunks fighting with each other. My mom was a drunk too. She's in heaven now, God bless her. But now, if you grow up in life and you're gonna follow the bad example you follow, you are double stupid.
Right.
Now, psychology would tell you don't have any choice. You're going to have to be what you're raised. And we got too much of that going on today among our young men who are excusing their life because their childhood was no good. If I had a bad childhood, then you should have a good adult life.
Amen.
You know what you don't want, now don't you? Some of these little squeaky clean guys who grow up in Christian homes and families, I don't understand you walking away from a good example. You are triple stupid. You're big time. Man, you're crippled so high, crutches couldn't help you, bro. I don't get it. I really don't. So good, better, and different. You have every reason in the world you can be right and do right with your life. Every reason.
Amen.
The measure of a man is, number one, what are his passions? Passion means what you want to do. It's that simple.
Good.
The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 18, verse number 1, through desire, a man having separated himself seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. What are your passions? Good. Too many young people today, too many young guys, they have no passion about anything. Right. They're passionless. You ask them, what are you going to do? You're kidding me. They seem to have nothing that stirs them up about anything in their life. They have no passion whatsoever. None. They're just a bunch of slugs. A slug is a snail without a shell on it. They're just going to go through life. You pour salt on them and they foam. No passion. Some men have limited passion. Oh, they're passionate, yeah, about video games. Yeah. Guys, look at me. I know I'm old school, and but some of you guys, you play video games so much your thumbs are bigger than your neck. You have a hard time coming to a meeting like this because you're away from your little game thing that you have. And you can't wait. That's why you're up to 3 o'clock in the morning playing stupid video games. So, well, they're not on scripture. The Bible doesn't say you shouldn't play them. The Bible doesn't say you should. The Bible doesn't say thou shalt not stick thy head in the toilet either, man. But tell me something. You mean your passion is a video game? Yeah. Think about that for a moment. That ain't even real, Holmes. Some of you can think fighting is a video game, right? Where you get in a fight with somebody. Let me use you, James. Come up here a minute. He's got a bad leg, so I'm not going to knock him out. So you get into it with a guy. You think a real fight has a reset button on it? Huh? I overhand right chop that sucker in the face right there, and he can't catch it before I get him. I bust his nose, knock 2 teeth out of his mouth, black both his cotton-picking, stinking eyes, and ain't going to be no reset button to that. Some of you better be careful because your sister's going to whoop your little wife behind. Because all you do is play stinking video games. You got to be kidding me. If your mama got jumped in a parking lot, you'd have to call the cops and hope they showed up fast because you couldn't take care of anything. I'm not saying go out and fight all the time. I'm saying some of you have no touch with reality. And if you had to square off with somebody, you'd stink and wet your pants. Thank you. The truth of the matter is, you have passion for something that really doesn't matter. Yeah, you please tell me you're not going to be a 40-year-old video game boy. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Huh? Where you go apply for a job and what you put on the resume is, I got to level 18 on Street Fighter 94. Really? That's going to get you first burger flipper at Five Guys. So they have limited passion. Some people have wasted passion. Passion that doesn't amount to anything. Yeah. A lot of young guys just live by their passions. Yeah, right. You live like a stinking dog. Any old dog go out and hump something in an alley somewhere. This is a guy's session, okay? Are we clear? Okay, good. The truth of the matter is, you got no passion. You got no passion. You got wasted passion. You got passion that's just about you. You got passion for pornography. You got passion for filth. You got passion for things that feed your mind, images and things that you have no business putting into your heart and your mind. They're going to do nothing but ruin you. You can't even look at a woman with a decent thought.
Yeah, right. Amen.
And you know what happens, guys, when you start your age with that kind of junk?
Come on.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Then by 25, 30 years old, you're a child pornographer.
Yeah, right.
You're going to be a sink to perversion. Sin does not finish until sin is finished.
Right.
James chapter 1, sin when it is finished, bringing forth death. There's always a point. There's always a point where you in sin lose control.
Right.
And here's where it happens. You lose control of sin and sin controls you, but you never see that point. And there's that transition. So you got a wasted passion. But now, gentlemen, and I believe this is true also for young men in this room, some of you have the right kind of passion.
Yes.
You want to get a passion for something? You get a passion for God.
Yeah. Right.
Good. You don't have to wait, well, I want to go older in my life. No. Oh, I know teenage young men who have a passion for God.
Yeah.
That keeps them pure.
Yeah.
It keeps them right. It keeps them on track. Well, in my youth group, that's not the case. Can I ask you a question today, youth directors in this room this morning? Aren't we dying for leadership from the young men in our youth groups?
Yes.
Dying for leadership. Somebody, some young man in the youth group, not stand up and talk, stand up and live the way he's supposed to.
That's right.
Have a passion to do something for God. Don't go around bossing people around in your youth group. You step up, step out, and stand up for Jesus.
Amen.
A passion for God, a passion for the things of God. A measure of a man is what are his passions. Number 2, a measure of a man is what is he in privacy. What is he in privacy? I don't think I'm too far off when I say this. The battle for every guy that I know, your age or mine, the battle is right here.
Yes. Amen. Yes.
Apostle Paul talked about bringing in subjection every thought. The authority of Christ. Keeping your mind right. Some of you can't even pay attention through a 25-minute sermon.
Yeah.
And by the way, can I say this? That's due to video, television, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff is geared to change things quickly, and you can't concentrate. Some of you haven't sat down and read a book that didn't have a lot of pictures in it in a long time. Like never.
Yeah.
And you can't, so consequently, you can't concentrate about anything. You can't keep your mind right. Then you start playing little games in your mind, your little video games in your mind. But only those are not video games with reset buttons.
Right.
Usually it has to do with impure thoughts and impure things in your mind. You know, you understand, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Amen.
You don't conquer this up here, you will never keep these in line.
Right.
Book of James even says that you can't control your tongue, you can't control your life. And the only way to control your tongue is to control your mind. What are you in your privacy, in your heart and in your mind? Hey guys, look at me. Do you believe this book? I go to an independent fundamental, I don't care where you go. I said, do you believe this book? I've got too many paper Christians who in reality are not what they're supposed to be. I heard a missionary years ago was working in, he was from India, in fact, he was an Indian man, Indian pastor. In his region where he lived in India, they had tigers, Bengal tigers. And often Bengal tigers would come in the villages at night, literally go in the huts and drag people out and eat them. So they would stake out, whenever they had a problem with a tiger, they'd stake out a lamb or an innocent animal, some kind, out further into the jungle to draw the tiger to it, then they try and kill the tiger that way. The missionary was using the illustration. He goes, but one time we tried something. We put a picture of a lamb tied to a stake, a picture, just to see if the tiger could be fooled. He said the tiger would only go after something that was real, not something that looked like something that was real. Some of you, you're picture Christians.
Yeah.
You're a little chameleon. You know that lizard changes colors whenever it gets around something? You're Christian when you're around Christians, you're heathen when you're around heathens. Can I ask you a question, bro? Can you get us something besides sand for a backbone?
Yeah.
Get it in your mind. Hey, look at me. I belong to Jesus 24/7. 24/7. 365 days out of the year, I am a child of God. And I believe what the Bible tells me, no matter where I am, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, I don't change what I do to match how I live. I change how I live to match what I believe.
Yes.
Privacy in your own mind, and also, gentlemen, in your own heart about what you believe, and privacy about those times when you are, quote unquote, alone. I don't think we need to go into the theological dissertation of the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. I don't think we need to get there, do we? We do understand we have an omnipresent God, which means He is everywhere you go. He is everywhere you go. He is everywhere you are. He shares every thought with you, He shares every action with you. He shares every moment with you. There is no such thing as a private moment. You share every moment with Him.
Right.
Now look at me. The measure of the man is what he is when he's alone.
That's right. Amen.
There's nobody around.
Yes.
You got a phone in your hand with internet access. You have a tablet with internet access. You have a tablet. We found out, this is several years ago now, we found out we had young people Facebooking through friends' Facebook because they friended a friend on Facebook. We had girls who were actually having relationships over the internet with soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. And their parents had no idea. Now, you guys are more savvy than I am. Okay, look at me. You'd be very proud of this preacher. I got a smartphone 2 days ago. The one I had before that had a crank on it. I'd have to put it up to get power. It was a $1 Pantech terminal. About eight of them for the staff, $8. Well, 2 days ago, they said, preacher, you got to get a smartphone for some of the stuff that you need. I go, okay. Is it a sin to cuss a phone? Okay. Anyway, I can't figure this stupid thing out. Smartphone means you have to be smarter than the phone. But I guarantee you right now, look here, Spanky Root is right here on the front row. I could hand that to him. That little boy right there could turn that thing on and immediately get into this phone and figure out stuff that I had no idea. It's got voice activated numbers so you're driving hands-free. Let me call Mike Ray. And it gives you the number and you can call him. Right? I'm driving to the airport yesterday. Mike Ray. I look at the phone and it says, migrant. You go illegal on me? What do you mean, migrant? No, man, Mike Ray. And it goes, migrants. And I go, no. Mike Ray, you stupid idiot! Mike Ray, you stupid idiot. No phone. Be careful, you print out cuss words. You have more savvy with electronics than I do. I admit it. I'm old school. I'm an old dude, man. And a couple of years ago, I started texting. A couple of years ago.
Amen.
Somebody said, preacher, it's a big help to you. And I go, all right, what do you do? You show me. All right. So I text this guy. And I didn't know it wasn't like a typewriter. I didn't know about initials, symbols. So I typed out, with Brother Ray, as a matter of fact. Dear Brother Ray, it's all typed out. Dear Brother Ray, this is Brother Johnson. I just wanted to tell you I love you, appreciate you, my brother. You're so important to America and God's will. And I love you, man. God bless you. Have a great day, Brother Johnson. And I sent it to him. Woo! Comes right back to me. You too. Not even Y-O-U-T-W-O or T-O-O. You too. Isn't that a rock group? What's you too? All that gives me a you too? That's what I get out of it? Did somebody text me and they go, oh, T-M-I-L-L-B-B-D-H-I-V B-F-F. And I go, did he cuss at me? I'm going to whoop that sucker, man. What is that? So I hand it to my 5-year-old grandson. He goes, Gramps, that means too much information. Laugh out loud. I go, what? Then they send me boxes. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. What is that? Boxes. People can't talk anymore. You know what? The truth of the matter is, young people, they're a helpful tool to us. But some of you, this is your whole life is when you're sitting on telephones.
Yeah, right.
You can't even function without having one of these little cotton-picking things in your hand.
Yeah.
Some of you, it's gotten you into a heap of trouble and you know it. What are you in your privacy? The measure of a man is what he is in his purity.
Right.
Now, young men, it is not a young lady's responsibility to guard your purity.
Right.
It is your job.
Yes. Amen.
It is the young man's job to say, we're not doing that.
Yes. Amen.
It is the, well, I gotta understand, I got a lot of hormones. Oh, yeah, you do. A little squirt. You gotta be kidding me. See, a man controls his passions. He keeps himself under control.
Right.
Apostle Paul said, I keep my body under subjection.
Right.
And as old and fat as I look, there are actually women who make passes at me. They're in wheelchairs in nursing homes. By the way, you gotta take what you can. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, I walked in a room, hospital room, one of our dear ladies, she's about 82 years old. She had heart surgery, so she was on morphine after the surgery, so she's like, woo, she's out there, stoned out of her head. I walk in the room, I go, Miss Bowles, how are you today? She goes, I'm fine, and you are one good-looking man. I go, 82 years old. No, actually, believe it or not, last time I was in Southern California preaching, I was standing in front of a hotel waiting for a ride, and this girl pulls up in a Maserati. But for some of you, that's not a video game, that's an actual car. That starts at about 120,000 and goes up from there. Mini skirt, she pulled up, and I'm just standing with my Bible in my hand waiting for a preacher to come pick me up. She goes, hi there, can I offer you a ride? 60-year-old fat dude standing there with a Bible in his hand, some babe in a sports car wants to give me a ride to the church. It wasn't even the church, she just offered to give me a ride. So I bet you felt like a big man. No, I didn't. I said, no, thank you. I'm waiting on a ride going to church. By the way, it's a good service, and I'd like to invite you to come sometime. It's good. She pulled out. Oh, no, you're the big man. You got to go around and take some girl's purity away from her because you're a big man.
Come on.
It's good. No, you're not.
Amen. Yeah.
No, you're not. It's not the measure of a man. Joseph and Potiphar's wife laid eyes on Joseph. She taunted Joseph. She tempted Joseph. And Joseph left his coat but kept his purity.
Amen.
He got thrown in jail, but he went to jail pure.
Amen. Amen.
What is he in his purity? With other women, with his intentions. What do you really mean anyhow? Now, for most of you young fellas, it's pretty basic to figure out what you mean. But what do you really mean? What is this other agenda thing you have? Why do you treat your mother like a dog?
Yeah, come on.
You little punk.
Yeah.
What is up with you? You lip off your mom, and you still wearing Spider-Man underwear. Your mommy still washes your clothes for you and makes your bed, you little punk. That's right, with a little pea punk. And then you lip off to your mommy because she didn't buy you the kind of stuff you wanted at the store. Go get a job and pay for it or shut your mouth. What is your problem? I don't understand that. I don't get a guy who thinks he's a big man because he's lipping off to his little mom.
Yeah, come on.
Man, what is up with you? What are your intentions? Everybody gets sideways, and I appreciate a young man who kind of wants to, be his own little man, all that kind of stuff. What's really simple, Spanky, here's what you do. See? Then if you want to do it your way, here's what you do. Move out and go take care of yourself. Not on welfare either.
Yeah.
Go get you a job and get your little wormy backside, your rusty behind up off the couch, and go get you a job and take care of yourself. And I say, well, we don't want 60 years old move there. They're not going to, because mommy can't take care of them somewhere else. If your mom helps you and takes care of you, shut up, toe the line.
That's right, man.
What is the deal with this whole hidden agenda thing? Treat your people like garbage.
Great.
Putting food in your mouth and a roof over your head. One of my teenage boys, we had two. One day, he was about 16 or so. He got to feel a little bit froggy one day. Somebody told him, you can emancipate yourself. Which means you go to the courts and you file papers, you can emancipate yourself at a certain age in California. You can go do what you want. He mentioned it to me. I said, hey, Tell you what you do, Spank. I'll give you a piece of luggage in a Hannibal plastic bag. I said, you go in your room, you take all the stuff you paid for in 16 years because it won't fill it up. And then you take your wormy behind out that door right there, and there's a street that goes east-west that'll take you to a north-south street, and you go figure it out. You mean you throw your son out of the house, Pastor Johnson? No, man, that punk was blowing smoke, and I knew it. And when he realized the reality of, thank you very much, you're on your own, Holmes. He looked at me and said, oh. I said, now shut your mouth and go do what you're told.
That's right.
You got your own little agenda going on there, bud? Yeah? Do you really think at the age of 12 you know what you're going to do when you're 18? So you're making fun of me, Pastor Johnson. You picking up on that, Einstein? Man is measured by what he is in his pursuits. What does get your best efforts? You will, listen to me, you will literally bust a gut in a basketball game. And you should.
Yeah.
Get into it. Don't one of those, well, I don't care whether we win or lose. Then go get a hormone check, bro, because there's something wrong with you. All right? I hate losing. I hate losing. I hate losing.
Yeah.
These people go around telling folks, be a good loser. No! I will not be a good loser.
Amen.
Now, I'll try to be gracious at it, but I ain't going to be good at it. I don't be a good loser. No. No, I don't. I don't want to be a good loser. And the point of it is this, gentlemen. See, here's the thing. You get out there and you get into a sports thing and you'll give all you can for that. And then when you got to mow the lawn, you do some stinking, shabby, nasty, stinking job that looks horrible. Because you got to hurry up, get on and do what you're supposed to do. Excuse me. See, I believe this. There's a good principle for a young man. Work hard, play hard. I've been going for about 3 months now without a day off. I'm tired. I woke up this morning, I didn't know where I was. I go, okay, wait a minute. This is a motel room. Give me a minute. Okay. I'm in Long Beach. All right, I got it. You know where I am. I've been in Alaska, I've been to the Bay Area, I've been all these places. I'm tired. But I'm tired for a good reason. But last week I got a few days with my family. We played hard. Oh yeah. We got around with 6 grandchildren. We got into it. Oh yeah. Look at me. What do you pursue?
Come on.
It's good. Measure of a man is what his pursuits are. What he's going to get after. What he's going to do. All right, young people, I'm sorry, but this is not a secular lecture, but education is going to get you where you got to go. You've got to get a better education in this world today. You're going to have to pursue some things. But y'all need to pursue your Bible. When was the last time you had serious time in the Word of God? You're going to have to pursue that. Somebody shouldn't be asking you. Your mama shouldn't be coming to you, shorty, and singing, you read your Bible today, you read your Bible today, you read your Bible today. That's junk. Not for a young man. That's not the measure of a man. The measure of a man, he pursues his book. He gets his book out. He reads his Bible. He spends some time with God. You put your best effort at whatever it is you do, and whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, then you do it with your mind. I eat pizza the way I preach. Believe it or not, and I haven't been in about 4 weeks now because of the schedule of things. I go to the gym and I work out. I'm 61 years old. I have to do something. I got furniture disease, man. My chest is falling in my drawers. I got to do something. So I go to the gym and I work out. Lift weights, do stuff like that. Until 4 weeks ago when I haven't been to the gym for so long, I can do as many push-ups as I am my age. I can do 61 push-ups. I can bench press my weight 10 times. I pursue it. Huh? Well, as soon as I'm done at the gym, I go very early, get at 5 o'clock in the morning. No alarm. Don't have to have one. I don't go to bed usually until 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And I get up and I hit the gym. I go in there about 45 minutes and I'm out of there. I come home. Here's the next thing I do. I get my food out for breakfast and I sit down with my Bible. I spend some time with God and I get to work and I do the things. Look at me, young people. Look at me. See, I'm 61 years old. I got to do something about my life, my health, and what I'm doing. But it's all pursuit to me. It's something I'm after. It's not just that I'm after to have a skinny waist and a little hip. No, the truth of the matter is I'm just trying to do better about my health and my life. But you know something? That doesn't substitute for my Bible and my prayer and my time with my wife and my time with my children and my grandchildren and, of course, ministry and work and then a little preaching in between all that. Measure of a man, lastly, is what are his pleasures? What do you enjoy and why?
Right.
All right, let me be old school again for this moment. I enjoy simple things. Last night I had to stop by some hairspray. They confiscated my hairspray at the airport. There's 4/10 of an ounce too big. And the woman goes through my luggage, right? There's my little underwear in there. Not Spider-Man, by the way. And I don't wear like, the kind of underwear that's like a patch for a one-eyed rhino. I mean, it's like underwear. So she's going through the suitcase. She pulls out, she goes, "This is 4 just of an ounce too big." I go, "Okay." She goes, "Now you have 3 choices." I thought, "You kidding me? You can go back to the line and check your luggage. You can mail it, or you can abandon it." I thought, "Does that mean leave it here?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "I'll leave it here." She goes, "Okay, I just wanted you to know what your options are." I thought, "I'll get another can. It's no big deal. Just chuck it." Don't ever got me a sandwich to sit down, had a quick bite to eat. Made a bunch of emails, made some phone calls. When I was on vacation, young people, look at me. I got into Cheetos. I like Cheetos. I like Cheetos in a tall glass of cold milk. When you eat Cheetos and you chase it with milk. I bought a party-sized bag of Cheetos. Yep. I ate them all, bro. I ate every stinking one of them. With this greasy, cheesy stuff on your fingers that you lick off when you're done. Gotta get a witness on the Cheetos.
Amen.
That's good. I was loving them Cheetos and that glass of milk at 11 o'clock at night on vacation. My wife said, "I heard you in there crunching." We're in a condo down in San Diego. "I heard you in there crunching away." And I said, "Yes, baby," and I was having a wonderful time. Munching on my Cheetos at 11 o'clock at night. You say, "Well, what's the point of going to the gym?" That was what I was asking halfway through the bag. The point is, I'm thinking this is going to cost me about 3 extra days. She's going to get a little Cheetos. I'm so fat I got more change than the Chinese phone book, bro. I got to do something. I got to do something. I was wearing an X-Game t-shirt, stepped outside helicopters, trying to land on my back. I mean, we're talking fast. My wife wanted to iron my shirt. She had to use the driveway for even iron. I mean, it was bad. I've got a watch on each arm. Each arm's a different time zone. You know what I'm saying? Pull up in front of the airport. A guy asked to check my luggage. I didn't have any. That's really bad. Then you know you need to go on it. Okay, never mind. Got arrested for breaking without permit while walking down the street. Anyhow, here's the thing. But what do you enjoy? Can you still, can you still enjoy simple things when your family goes on a vacation? You're not one of those punks who ruins the vacation because your little friend didn't get to go. First of all, are you kind of like a little weird or something? My friend Joey couldn't go with me, so vacation not going to be good. Are you for real? I mean, the girl thing is bad enough when a girl wants to take her little friend with her. But you can't go on vacation and enjoy the time with your mom and dad, work hard, and then you get a time for a vacation, and you're going to mess it up because you can't just get involved and go along on the vacation. Well, this is stupid. We're just walking on the beach. Shut up! Walk on the beach! Pick up shells and go, woo! Somewhere down the way, there'll be a cinnamon roll shop. Yes! I'm a good husband. You could ask her, she ain't here, but I am. She said, "I need to go shopping." And I go, "Oh, please." Any guy that likes to go shopping is homosexual. I'm into buying, but not shopping. There is a difference. You do know that, guys? Look at me. You're one of them little dudes who goes to a mall, walks around for an hour and a half, and comes out with an 82-cent candle. You got problems. Are you kidding me? Shopping? No. Buying? Yes. Blue t-shirt, 2X, tall. Walk in, there it is. Buy. My wife will go, "Honey, it's probably." I want out of here. There we go. But it's $8. I don't care. If it's $12, I want out of here. And I'll take her shopping. I said, "Babe, I'll buy you a dress today." I don't care where you get it. I don't care how much it costs. Just get you a dress for her. There's no way for a man to look masculine in the dress section of a store. You can't do it. You can lean on that. You can get a tattoo that says "mother" on your arm. Put a bone in your nose. You can stand there and do curls. It's not going to work in a dress section in a store. And then she goes in there and tries the dress on. You're standing by yourself in the dress section. And you're looking around going, Bruce Jenner's going to show up. She's in the dress section. So I had some fun. I'll pull a dress on last lady. Will this make my hips look big? You got this in 2X? She'll say, that's the other side of the store. Well, that's nasty. Right? After about 20 minutes, I'll tell my wife, I said, sweetheart, I'll buy you anything if you'll let me out of this store. But please, let's go do something else, all right? I just enjoy spending time with my wife. Good. Look here, look here, look here. I like being home. Man, some of you need to find out that home doesn't mean your room where you go hide from your parents. I mean you actually are home. They have dinner, you go actually participate without the phone in your hand while you're texting your friends saying, I'm so bored sitting here eating dinner with my parents. Enjoy. See, a man's pleasures. Look here, friend. See, if you can learn to enjoy the simple things in life, then big stuff is really important. See, if Knott's Berry Farm is the pinnacle of your month, and it's okay, Knott's Berry Farm, you know, yeah, do go on the rides that make you want to puke and lose body function control. It's all right. But excuse me, but if that's the pinnacle and nothing else is worthwhile until you get to go get on a ride, there will come a day, I promise you, there'll come a day when you walk through the door of your house and after you've been gone for a while, you really appreciate being home. Amen. Look at me. What do you enjoy doing? Nothing. No wonder you're life. You know why life is boring? Yeah. Because you're bored. Yeah. Yep. Yes, buddy. I'd love to have time enough to get bored. I really would. I don't live a boring life. I live a wonderful life. It's great. I was talking last night about really great about journaling. Guys do journals, women do diaries, so let's be clear about that. I tried the journal thing. Somebody gave me a nice, beautiful leather brown journal where you write down every day what you did. I quit in May. You know why? Because it's boring. First of all, as a pastor, half of what happened in my day I couldn't put in there. Because I've never ever read it. There's people in my church that go to jail. So, well, today I had a guy, cross-dresser, come into my office. You know, you can't put that down in your journal. You just can't put that in there, you know. Had one of my deacons arrested as a felon. You know, that's not something you want to journal in your day. But the rest of it was, I went to work, came home, spent time with my wife, and I thought, this is boring as all get. To anybody who read it, it wasn't boring to me. I just thought, why do I keep writing this down? This is pretty much my life. What is a good life? Amen. Amen. I guess when you grow up in a drunkard's home and you don't know if you're going to live to the next day, just having a day-to-day enjoyable life is a good life. What's the measure of a man? Stand our feet, please, would you?